Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Bombad Generals. It's the two people that you're used to, I guess. Myself, Matt.
The two generals.
The two generals, yeah.
Yes.
My girlfriend asked, "Do you call yourselves the generals?" And I was like, "No way. We never call ourselves the generals." And then she was like, "In the podcast description, it says this week the generals blah blah blah." And I thought, oh, I guess we do call ourselves the generals. So now I'm self-conscious about it.
We are the generals.
Yeah. I guess I should just
generals.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I should embrace it. It is the generals. We've got some a good, cool, I think a fun new format for you guys this week. But first, Seth has something to plug this time instead of me.
Yeah, so I'm actually an Oklahoma native, and in September, I got asked to plug this. This is a Game Uplink. It's in Oklahoma City. They're hosting a 32-person tournament. It's on Saturday in September 16th. It's a 4-round tournament. I believe if like all 32 people show up, there's two world champion invites. Actually, I don't even think you need all 32 people because it's open to 32 people.
Yeah, I think as long as you get enough signups, then you're good to go. But so that's good because. Oh, go ahead.
So there's 2 world champion invites on the line. Again, Saturday, September 16th, Oklahoma City. It's called the Dust Bowl Battles. It's on more info's like on the Discord if you want, or you can just comment down below and just let us know if you want more details. We'll send it.
Any sort of links we got, we'll toss in the description.
Yeah.
Who knows? I may be there.
You could get beat by one of the generals.
Yeah, or beat one of the generals. I think. Yeah. No, I like that they're getting 2 invites in there because with 4 rounds, 32 players, you're gonna have 2 undefeateds, most likely. So good that they can both get the invite. Nice, very good.
I'm unsure if it's 2. I know there's at least 1, but I think they may have the ability to do 2. So I'm not 100% sure on that, but want to clarify that. I was
thinking about this the other day because there are a few other world championship not world qualifiers, but store champs with invites, and we've got ours already. But the dice are so nice. I kind of want to get more of those red dice.
Yeah, I remember seeing like the photos for like the promo kits, and I was like, man, like it's the same dice. Like it's not, because it's the red dice, attack dice that you get. And at first glance, like I'm like, oh, they're not that cool. And then like I hold one up, and I'm like, oh man, these are sick.
They're really nice and marbled and all that.
They are.
And the alt arts are also good. So hit up your local stores for the store champs. The kits are really nice. That's the takeaway there. And don't shame people who already have an invite who want to come for the prizing if they show up.
Yeah, don't do that. It's just like, don't do that.
Just don't shame people in general, probably, unless they're running double dark troopers.
That's probably a good idea. I've thought about just quick side tangent is we've talked about Lone Star Open, and I'm unable to stay for Sunday, but I had the option of going, and I was like, oh man, do I go and just play Saturday? But then what if I go Saturday and then I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna make top 8? Then I feel really bad because it's I knock people out. So that, if you do stuff like that. Now, if there's an emergency, and you have to go, that's one thing. But if you're no beforehand, that may change you a little bit.
Don't go just to play spoiler. Yeah, don't just try to play spoiler.
Don't be that guy or gal.
Yeah. But anyways, new format. Today, we were going to talk about some upgrade cards and basically kind of a new series, overrated, underrated, favorite, least favorite. A classic format, at least for me. It shows up in... Yeah, OUFL shows up in some of the podcasts I listen to about various topics, but I figured it was a good way to talk about upgrade slots and kind of the state of that. I think when you're first starting out Legion and getting used to list building, you see a lot of lists where every single upgrade slot is filled. And that's usually not what you want to do. But some upgrade slots are definitely filled more than others, and training slots, I would say, used to be almost always filled. they recently got some points updates to quite a few of them, and it's not always filled, but I'd say it's one of the ones I use the most often out of all upgrade slots.
Well, because a lot of your heroes and your special forces have training upgrades, and normally those training upgrades really help being able to boost the efficiency of that unit. So training upgrades are probably the most filled.
Yeah. Other than force slots, I would say.
Other than force and like heavy slots,
command, it's up there. And yeah, I guess that's actually a good place to start. What kind of units have training slots? So a lot of heroes these days are going to have training slots. So operatives and commanders.
Now,
and
not every hero, but most. Yes.
Most. Yeah.
Most.
And it's a slot that came in pretty early in the game, honestly. But the Wave 1 guys don't have it. So like Commander Vader, Leia, Veers, no trainings. So they'll have them. A lot of special forces have a training upgrade. Actually, a lot of heroes nowadays even have double training upgrades. A lot of, as we say, special forces, and then like the elite corps tend to have training upgrades. So that's Phase 2s, Rebel Veterans, Shore Troopers. All of those units often have a training upgrade, and those are probably going to be the ones that get filled the least, just because training upgrades are expensive. But there's enough different units and enough different things that trainings do. Honestly, almost every training upgrade has its place for at least one character, even if it's our least favorite. Anything else preface wise that we want to talk through, or just get into it?
Oh, let's get into it. I think that's kind of it right there.
We've got a page prepped here with all the training upgrades on it. And Seth, do you want to kick us off with your... We're going to start on a spicy hot take note, an overrated training upgrade.
An overrated training upgrade. So I think my personal overrated training upgrade is the upgrade up close and personal.
Damn it. Okay. All right. We didn't discuss this beforehand, but... We
did not.
It is my overrated as well. Continue.
The reason... Okay, so when it was 5 points... I like Anakin with saber throw was a really good. Of course, like Bobo when he did his I forgot the blast card.
Making his way in the galaxy. Like it had some use to being with gunslinger, all that jazz. Han with gunslinger and teamwork.
So that was really good. But like with the 8 point increase, I swear that 8 point increase was for Anakin in the saber throw. Yeah. Because having those dodges on Anakin is just really good. It's really hard to take it. I think I think it's a little bit, it made it overrated. In my opinion.
For those who are listening, Up Close and Personal is the card that has Sabine on it. After you perform a ranged attack, at range 1 to 2, gain a dodge token.
Yeah.
So I agree. Like even before the points upgrade, the points increase to 8 points, it was situational, I would say. You wanted to have gunslinger or some other really good reason to want it, like a spinorama attack like Grievous or Boba Fett do.
Yep.
Or again, Anakin saber throw because he's got Gemso and he can share the dodge. Otherwise, like I see a lot of people, even nowadays, putting it on like Mandos, and I'm just like, that's not. If you're relying on the dodge, the one dodge to bail you out there, I don't think that's gonna end especially well for you. Especially 8 points, it adds up quickly if you're doing it on anything but a single hero. The other thing is a lot of the characters who would want it don't have the double training upgrade slot, or there's other things they want in there, and you're not taking up close and situational. So Sabine or Han, for instance, I mean, Han already gets low profile, so he could get super heavy cover. Gunslinger's nice. He could get 2 dodges, past 2 dodges to Chewie. but then he can't dodge crits, which is kind of what he wants to use those dodges on because he's already stopping a lot of hits. Yep. Right? Similar with Sabine. She's got nimble. So getting 2 dodges from gunslinger attacks are pretty nice, but her attack sucks. And the dodges, then she can't dodge crits again. So I think it's just an awkward one. And we'll see this a lot with the training upgrades. A lot of them went up 2 points. This one went up 3 points. It's crazy. Maybe this is just me mentally, but in an 800 point game, to have a card that went up like a couple points feels like it shouldn't be a big deal, but it can make all the difference for me.
It really does.
Yeah. I feel like I should toss in an honorable mention here since we had the same one. But I'm going to I'm going to throw in Hunter as an overrated. I actually think Hunter's really good a lot of the time because it's passive aim generation. That's the one with Bosk. While attacking a wounded trooper unit, you get an aim token, and Bosk loves it. And I think it just depends on the units that are using it and the meta, right? Way back in the day, in the Tauntaun meta, we actually saw a list go to the finals of LVO where they were putting it on, I think that was Kyle Crosser was putting it on his shore trooper units for just lots of aims. And that's a lot of action efficiency.
That makes sense. Yeah.
It does, right? And I'm once in a while, I'm tempted to put it on some units like that, but it's 6 points, which is a lot. And there are going to be games where it just never triggers.
It never happens, yeah.
Because to be wounded, you have to already have a wound token.
Yep.
To be missing a mini is not wounded. And it only works against troopers, so you can't use it against vehicles. It's decent. Bounty hunters, I can see the reasoning because you are attacking characters anyways, but even then, I've played a lot of Boba. I'm not dishing out 6 points for Hunter most of the time, so I'd say that's an honorable mention for overrated.
So it's not your true overrated, but it's just an honorable mention. Honorable mention
because I also said up close and personal. I think that was the easiest one for me on my entire list. Yeah.
Fair. All right. Let's go overrated.
That was overrated. Underrated?
I'm sorry. Underrated. Yeah. I apologize. Okay. I started off last time, so Matt, hit us up. What's your underrated?
So, my true underrated is also my favorite. So I'm saving that one for the favorite category. Because I think I'm a hipster, and I actually, as much as these are good, I don't use a lot of upgrades. So if I think it's good, it's probably like the only one I'm using. So my underrated is going to be actually Into the Fray.
Oh my gosh.
A bit of this. Here's the thing though. It's underrated in a certain way. So this is when an enemy unit at range 1 activates, you may gain 1 surge token.
1 surge.
Right?
Yep.
I think before the changes to deflect, I actually, Bay Area Open 2022, I was running this on Op Luke just to get even more surges on him. Even when I could spend a dodge in melee and get surge to block. And I think on characters like that, extra surges when you want to delay their activation and save that dodge, it's still pretty good. Like IRG, I think should at least maybe make a bit of a comeback. And it's really good on IRG because they don't surge either direction. So if you dive with them, then you can, get surge tokens. And then, hey, if I'm attacking, I'll spend that surge. If I'm defending, I'll use it. So I think it's good for that. I think as a substitute for deflect, well, I guess I should say even too, on Wookiees, I experimented with Into the Fray. I don't think it's the best option for Wookiees, but it's not
terrible, it's not awful. Like there's better ways to spend your points.
Yeah. As a change to deflect, as a substitute for it, it's overrated in that circumstance because
I agree.
If I had a dodge before with a force user and someone from range 2 activated, moved in and charged me, I still got Surge to block. They have to start at range 1 of you when they activate. So it's not great. It sees a lot more play nowadays because of the changes to deflect, and maybe that puts it less in the underrated category, but I think it does have some uses, and it's maybe fallen out of favor on stuff like IRG. So yeah. It's as my second tier underrated, that's what I'm going with. I think honestly a lot of these upgrades are properly rated, so this was the hardest category for me. But you sounded very surprised.
Well, no, I wasn't surprised. I was
okay.
It's the same thing. It's my underrated card as well. So
that's really?
why yes.
I was like, this might be Seth. The way you reacted, I thought this might be his least favorite. I don't know.
No,
okay,
no.
This
was my underrated card as well. So I was kind of with you on that. So yeah.
Anything to add? Anything to add about Into the Fray? Here I was talking, thinking that you had a different card.
I mean, I was hesitant to put this as underrated just because the deflect changed, but I feel like it was added, like people are playing it more, which is warranted for the deflect change because of that. And everyone, when that happened, everyone was like, oh, now you have to bring Into the Fray. So like, I don't like, so maybe it's not completely underrated, but I think out of all the list, it's my most underrated. Yeah.
Do you have an honorable mention? I have a couple questions while we're in the underrated category. Is Protector underrated these days? Guardianing crits. Man. Obviously, people got really into it with Dark Troopers because of how it used to work until the most recent changes, taking impact crits and guarding them. But I feel like outside of that, maybe that was the impetus that made people realize how good Protector is.
Yes.
But I think that I felt like people know now that it's really good, so I didn't put it as underrated, but I could see an argument. It's a really good card.
Yeah,
in the right circumstances.
I think maybe it's just a circle I talk to a lot is like you and our other teammates is that like we all like Protector and we don't think it's underrated, but maybe I think the majority of Legion players like don't really take a lot of Protector. I don't think it's necessary for every Guardian, but I think especially with all these new all these snipers coming out, having the Protector to help cancel the hit, like the crits of the snipers onto units that you really don't care about their wounds, or you like to save those pierce shots off of your like main meat of your army, I think is very helpful. It may be a little underrated, probably not as much now because of the darks.
I'd say a good example of why Protector is really good. If you look at one of my favorite things in Rebels right now is still Chewie, Operative Chewie in Rebels, because he's a big sponge for wounds, and you can slap Protector on him no problem. If you're not putting Protector on Chewie, what are you doing? Because you have a lot of ways to mitigate hits, with low profile dodge generation, this, that, the other thing. But crits, just guardianing crits, taking off high velocity, as you say, all of that stuff. It's really, really huge.
It's really helpful. And for those who don't know what Protector is, it's while using Guardian, you can cancel crits as though they were hits. So that's pretty cool. And also like on Obi-Wan, where like you can cancel, like you can spend Obi-Wan's dodges to cancel crits because they now are like hits. So that's really nice, which isn't seen a lot of play. So if you're playing like Obi-Wan Force Barrier, I think this would be a cool card to add on just to cancel those crits that if your Force Barrier is not ready.
And because for Obi-Wan specifically, because it's as if they were hits, he can spend his dodges on them, which is really nice.
And it is nice that you don't have to it's during the end phase you can ready the card, so you can always use it. So
like improvised orders, it comes back every turn, but you can also take a recover action to get it back and maybe use it twice in a turn. So if you have naked IRG or Chewie is chilling behind a wall, no reason not to.
Yeah. I like it. I think it's when this came into the game, because I think it came in with like Yoda. I was like, oh, this is a really good card. Like, I really enjoyed it. I really thought that was
that's
good.
Also,
addition.
I guess that was why I was thinking, is it underrated? Because I know in some sense, it's a little overrated. At first, I was like, oh, with Yoda Chewie, I gotta put Protector on Chewie.
No.
And then playing against you, I realized, I guess in that pairing, Republic Chewie doesn't really need it because you're getting into their lines pretty quick anyways.
Yes, and most people go for Chewie before they go for Yoda.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's from what I've seen.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
All right, we gotta go. Let's go least favorite, and then we'll end it.
End on a high note. Okay, but you get to start this time. Least
favorite.
I feel like we put this. I bet we group think. I'm worried our entire list is the same. Yeah.
Oh man, we're hanging out too much, Matt. We're talking too much. Okay. Duck and cover.
Yeah. Okay.
My least favorite is duck and cover. It says, while defending against a ranged attack during the apply, dodge, and cover step, you may gain 1 suppression token.
Yep. Important to note, you still get suppression after the attack, right?
Yes.
That's the thing too, and that's a lot of why this card isn't good.
Yeah. If it said like you may gain your suppression token earlier, like
or just like gain 1 suppression and then take 1 less suppression after the attack.
Oh, that's really good.
Then it's spicy.
I like
but
that.
But it doesn't say that.
Okay. Anyways, listen to us, AMG. Okay. Anyways, the only use that this card has is for units with danger sense.
I would say the only use for this card is Cad Bane. And that's probably it. And maybe Jin. Maybe.
Cad Bane. Yeah, because you take Cad Bane for the double the suppression to stack for his 2-pip.
Right. But he also has Courage 3. So
yes, it's true.
That's the thing.
Yeah, because like Cassian. Oh, he's only Courage. No.
Yeah. Because originally when this card came out, first of all, it was 8 points, and that was not good. Like, that's crazy. It first came out with Han and the Rebel Commandos and the Scout Troopers.
Yeah, I think it came in with the Commandos.
Because the idea was if you got caught in the open, you hit this, get cover 1 from duck and cover, which upgrades to cover 2 with low profile. And great. The problem is, if you do that on Commandos or Han or anyone like that, now you're at 2 suppression.
Now you're suppressed,
Now it's 50-50 that you just lose in action, and you're taking unnecessary suppression. It's like a get out of jail card for, oops, I put myself in a really bad situation, and it kind of makes things worse.
Yeah. It's like you're I just lost my train of thought. It's like it's the short-term gain, but like it's a long-term sacrifice for the for what you're doing. And with like the new cover rules and how easy it is to get cover, like it's just like very unnecessary.
Yeah.
Just because like if your guys are in the open, either you're on a very like slim tape, like I'm lost. I'm losing words. I'm so sorry. Not a dense table, or you're just like playing your units a little wrong.
Yeah. 2 points, that can be recon intel. That can
true.
be a bid. Unless, again, Cad Bane, it makes me really not want to shoot Cad Bane because he might only need it for 1 attack.
That's
and
true.
As we said, he has Courage 3, so he doesn't care.
Yep.
But also, if you attack him a lot, he just stacks it up, plays his 2-pip, and gives all the suppression back to you. For like really Pathfinders, good. I'm still not putting it on Pathfinders.
No.
I'm not putting it on Cassian, as we said. It's danger sense in general just isn't a fantastic keyword on most units.
It was good when there wasn't like as many
pools.
Small dice pools. It was really good, but it's not anymore.
Pikes, I think people think maybe it's better than it is because pikes, but remember pikes also have dodges to make this dice pools small.
Yep.
As we said though, everything has at least a place. Duck and cover has Cad and maybe Jin where it's decent, but otherwise like don't save yourself the pain.
Do we have a honorable mention for another least favorite?
Oh baby. Another honorable mention. I thought a lot about endurance for this. Not for this, for least favorite, because Duck and Cover was... Yeah. Duck and Cover and Up Close and Personal were kind of the easy ones. Endurance is 6 points. That's a lot.
It is a lot.
It removes one extra suppression token at the end of the round. Which means that, hey, even on hostile, you can remove one if you're not even if you're not touching a piece of terrain. Otherwise, you can be removing 2. Really, Anakin takes this because of his flaw, and that's it. It's just pretty not worth 6 points.
It's not. Yeah,
I could see this coming down in the future to like 4, 3, 2.
I was debating between Endurance and Overwatch.
That was the other one I was looking at.
Yeah.
But like Overwatch, it's funny. I almost put it at underrated too, because it's like it's one of the ones that's still at that 4-point cost, which isn't too bad. And having standbys out to range 3's not terrible. If we end up with like, I don't know, maybe we see more aggro lists these days, or like more pure range 3 lists, but I don't think so. There are a lot of snipers to knock that standby off. I don't know.
Yeah. I just think it goes against your, like, I'm going to say like this. It goes against like a healthy action economy, in my opinion. Like standbys should be like, be taken very rarely. And like, to where a situation where like, okay, like I'm gonna take a standby, like I know that this standby is gonna go off,
or it's gonna cause headaches for my opponent, and but like it's not. I think the place I would take Overwatch, where I think maybe it's being underutilized currently, would be on 2 characters that I think we're seeing a lot more play, Cassian
and
Aiden.
Yep.
Because they get a free standby on their 1 pips.
Yep.
And then extending that to range 3 is suddenly a lot nastier. Because right now it's kind of whatever, but then it starts to matter. Like Aiden especially, because she gets sharpshooter 2. In the right matchup, you're probably going to have to trigger that standby, and then she's going to get a high velocity 2 black pierce 1 shot if she's in her sniper configuration with sharpshooter 2 off on anything.
Yep.
Versus if she doesn't have this card, she's probably not getting that attack off. So I think that's the spot where, especially since those characters have loadout, I feel. But again, because of all the changes, if you're taking like Hunter and Overwatch, maybe that's the combo. You take Hunter, Overwatch, but why wouldn't I take Hunter and O-Push and just have aim generation in 2 different versions? Right? That's the thing.
Yeah.
If I take Overwatch, I don't really have something to switch it out with. Maybe situational awareness. Both of those characters don't hate situational for the same cost, because Aiden has nimble, so if you somehow get her a dodge and crits isn't bad, and Cassian can get a bunch of dodges from K2 and his 2-pip, so... I'm talking myself into it.
Yeah. Maybe it's a little underrated. Who knows?
As I say, I was thinking about it. I feel like should we just go to favorite?
Let's go to favorite.
We have the exact same favorite. I'm sure. I'm sure we do. It Seize the Initiative, right?
Yeah, that's my favorite. Yeah.
It's so good, but I think it's underrated too. As I said,
I agree. I'm with you.
People don't run it enough. Every single character who can take it. So. It's basically HQ uplink, a one-time HQ uplink for commanders and operatives.
Yes.
You issue an order to yourself. It's just order control is good on heroes, just generally. This enables, if I have 2 heroes and I like both of their 1 pips, I can have Seize the Initiative on one of them. So when I play the other's 1 pip, I can seize the other character and still have order control.
Yep.
But then there's like weird shenanigans you can do with two particular come to mind.
Oh, I know.
2 very good meta characters. Okay,
yes.
what are those?
We'll talk about the first one. Let's talk about Padme.
Yeah. Oh, I wasn't even thinking of the Padme one. Yeah, you take the
whoa.
Padme one.
Oh, okay.
I love this trick. I don't think she's one of the big meta characters, though, right?
Okay. I think it's a really cool trick, though. So C's, because she's an operative, she also has a training shot. You give her C's, and because I forgot the keyword. She's got a keyword authoritative, where whenever she's issued an order, she can dish out that order to anyone range 1 to 2 of her. So, like, it's really good for fire supports on like a turn. Like, let's say you're not running the clone commander on guard.
Like an Anakin Pike list, let's say, where you have a Pike capo, but you want to fire support on the 1 pip.
Yes, so that's where like you bring the C's, 5 points, give out an order to one of your clones, and boom, you then have a 1 pip with another order, and then Anakin can then do like a move fire support and hit off really well, and then. Like, I think that's a really cool trick. Also, just on Padme, on like a hero list. Like, there was way back when I say way back when, like last year, I did like a Obi-Wan, Anakin, Padme list. Like, it's just really, it was really fun. But like, instead of putting C's on one of the guys, I put C's on Padme. That way, it can be like more flexible. So like, if I want to do Obi-Wan's 1 pip, then I do C's and give Anakin it, or Anakin's 1 pip, then I do C's and give Obi-Wan it. It's just a little bit more flexibility on that. So I really like it on Padme. Yeah,
because it's really C's for anyone at that point. C's the initiative, I guess. Maybe we didn't say the full name of the card. I just call it C's. So yeah. The characters I were thinking of was 1, Boba Fett.
Okay.
This is, as I say, I don't put Hunter on Boba Fett. I put C's on Boba Fett because, and often that's all. If I'm running a rule with respect, I'll put recon intel on him, but whatever. I'm mostly just running with Seize the Initiative because, one, he wants an order. He's a finesse unit. An order is much more valuable than independent aim or dodge, in my opinion. But the really good thing when it comes to trickery is Simple Man. So he gets 1 effect if you give him the order with the card, and another effect if you don't give him the order with the card. The critical thing being the card order. Where does the card order go? So, if you give the card order to someone else, you can use Seize the Initiative and you still have an order. And that effect is you extend the range of both your weapons by 1, so you can effectively shoot your full pool at range 3, and you get marksman and an aim token. And usually, you know, if you look at the card, it's like, okay, those are really good effects, but you don't have order control on him. Well, now you do have order control on him, and it's fantastic.
It's the best of both worlds.
It's great. And also in, like, you know, Boba double dark lists, you also want Seize because you physically can't give Boba an order on pin down, which you want to run. Now he has that. So it has to do double duty. So you kind of have to read how the game's going because it is one use only.
Yeah. Is the other? Can I guess your other one?
Guess the other one.
Is it IG-88?
It's IG-88.
Yeah,
baby.
that's right.
Yeah, because again, giving it order control is just really good for him. Yep. I ran IG and Boba together, so there's a lot of, they're very greedy cards. So there's going to be at least 1 turn in the game where I'm playing someone else's card. Could be Boba, could be Iden, could be who knows who. But I also want an order on IG. So I just want that order control. But also, assuming you're playing his 2-pip, you get an aim from that order.
Which, let's clarify, independent programming 2-pip.
Yes, because he has two 2-pips. So independent programming is independent dodge, or if you issue yourself an order, you get an aim. So Seize is issuing himself an order, he gets an order and the aim. That's really good.
It is really good.
Again, I will take this instead of Hunter on IG-88 because Hunter might never trigger. Maybe it'll trigger once, maybe it'll trigger a bajillion times and I feel awesome. But Seize the Initiative will always give me an aim and an order. And I really like that. I like guaranteed,
especially if you're running like a double bounty list, because normally IG-88, I've seen him most popular in double bounty lists is that you play it on like the other bounty command card, and that way you have order control for your bounty hunters. So it's really sweet.
It's my whipcord turn, and I want to still give IG-88 an order. boom, and now I get a name. Awesome. So yeah, I will put this on IG before I do anything else. And usually I just put targeting scopes because, hey, now I'm getting a name. Why not make it even more valuable?
Yes.
So it's just a really good card.
It is.
In general, order's good. What can I tell you?
Yes.
Wow.
All right, real quick. Let's end this. Let's rapid fire. Let's rapid fire each one of these. Let's do a quick tier list for each one.
Okay.
S, A, B, C, and D. And D's the lowest. Okay, duck and cover, D. Right?
Oh, we're doing even the ones we talked about. Yeah, D
tier.
Yeah.
Endurance, C tier.
C tier. Yep.
Hunter, I'd put him in
B tier. I think it's B tier. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's good.
Into the fray, B tier.
B tier. Yep.
I think so. All right. Offensive push. Oh gosh.
We'll talk a bit more about that one.
Oh man, it's 6 points is really expensive.
Look how they massacred my boy.
Okay, offensive push while performing a move, gain tactical 1, and you can flip it.
It's exhaust.
So yes.
You only get it for one move. If you double move, you only get one aim from this. You can recover it and use it multiple times a game. It was really good at 4 points.
Yes.
But again, 6 points, that extra little bit for one aim in the game. Most situations it's one aim. If you get free recovers, maybe it's 2.
It's not as good. It was really good. I've seen it used for tack strike. Just to have that extra aim, and then I also saw it used for take that clinkers when you didn't have to actually take the aim action. Other than those things, I only can see it. I can only justify it for Asajj. It's really good on. I think it's decent on Asajj because she's already taking the recover action as well for her force push, and then for a unit like Wookiees because they have duelist.
Yes.
So that's helpful. But other than that, I'm not
because they're units that are going to be recovering or are definitely going to be moving and have really good
attacking.
uses for that aim.
Correct.
Because Wookiees are going to be double moving in to charge you and want to reroll dice.
They
want to
have
pierce.
an aim. Yes.
Tack strike. You're going to be moving anyways, and you're going to be attacking, right? And you have marksman. In a lot of situations, because you're taking it on your Idens and your Infernos. So at 4 points, it would have been a candidate for maybe I splash it into some core if I've got points to burn. But at 6 points, it's beyond that for me.
Yeah,
and it's probably a good change, but I'm just not taking offensive push much at all these days.
All right. I know this is a very special offense defense stance. I think it's an A tier. A tier. I like it.
I think it's over. It was a candidate for me for overrated.
Okay.
Because people talk about. So this is the one where either when you take a dodge action, you get 2 dodges, but you can't spend aims, or if you take an aim action, you get 2 aims, but you can't spend dodges. And people are like, "Oh man, so good! You can get 2 dodges, and really you're getting 1 dodge when you think about it, right? Because you're already taking the dodge action, which would have given you 1 dodge, and now you're getting 2. So really you're getting 1 extra dodge. And sure, maybe hey, 2 is better than 1 because you just have so many and it's demoralizing. I don't know, but
I think it's good for Anakin. Period.
Yeah,
that's
if Anakin is going to sit behind a wall, I just don't like doing that.
Yeah. Oh man, that's the dash. That's the dash
thing, because
special.
Thankfully, it doesn't combo. It requires the dodge action. It doesn't combo with anything else,
which is really nice because
you can't
defend
force
1
reflexes
with defense. Oh man,
yeah,
that would be OP.
Yeah.
Probably not OP, but really, really good. Okay, we already talked about those 3. Situational awareness.
Well, did we tier Overwatch? C tier. I think you really have to build around it.
Yes, C tier. Protector. I think it's A tier.
A baby.
C's S tier.
S tier.
C's the initiative. S tier. Situational awareness.
Again, look how they massacred my boy. Oh.
What is it? It's 6 points.
It's
4 points.
4 points. They doubled it. Again, when I was looking, I was like, they should make it 3 points. If they want to hurt situational, make it 3 points. This is, you can dodge crits. That's it. But if they make it 3 points, and then they made it 4 points, and that one extra point makes a lot of difference because it's an upgrade card that you gotta spam. If one unit has situational, in most circumstances, I'll still take this on heroes. I'll feel bad about it, but I'll still take it on a Sabine or something if I'm running her. But you can't spam it anymore because those extra points add up fast.
It's true.
And it's a card that you are not getting a guaranteed benefit from.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
You need to saturate it because it's like, well, if half your units have it, I'll just shoot the other half that don't have it. And then when I shoot that unit, maybe I'll just roll so many hits that dodging a crit doesn't matter. Right? So it's expensive. 4 points. I get why it got changed.
It's a B tier for me.
Okay.
I think it's very I think it's a good card. It's just a little overpriced because you want to spam it. I think it's unfortunate because this really hurt rebels, like the rebel captain DLTs. They didn't need a point increase.
No.
And I just feel really bad. And I mean, how they had the well equipped to a support unit. They're literally only thinking about Tons, but Tons are never brought.
100%. Because remember, this came out with Cassian and Aiden in early summer 2020.
Yeah.
So it would have been play tested in the height of the Ton meta.
Yeah.
So they did not want Tons to be able to double move, get with 2 dodges from Agile. Yeah. And then dodge crits, which good foresight there. But it's just it hurts. But I'm happy that we don't have clone gun lines, with outmaneuver for cheap right now.
It's true. Like phase 2s without maneuver,
or just Yoda full arcs. Full arcs are making a comeback. Slap 2 points on them each, and now they dodge crits with Luminous. Ooh.
This is pretty good.
Yeah,
and then you put Boyle in there and then Force Barrier.
And Force Barrier.
No, on an Anakin list, that's a little different.
Yeah. Tenacity. A tier.
Yeah, I think it's A tier. It's really good. The units that are in melee, they're gonna take it. Who are performing a melee attack. If you're wounded or one or more of your minis have been defeated, add 1 red die attack die to your attack pool.
Red die, best die.
Red die, best die.
What can you say? I think there's a couple melee units who fall for me into the category of, if I've already taken a wound, I am probably too close to death. I'm going to be doing my best work before I even take wounds. So someone like Wicket comes to mind, Asajj, Boba Fett. You could make a case that Rebel Boba Fett kind of falls into there.
Rebel Boba Fett melee is good.
I still like having tenacity on him, but I could see leaving it behind for 6 points
for sure,
and with the other stuff.
Yeah, 6 points. Oh my gosh.
But your Wookiees, your Magna
are
Guards,
really good. Magnus.
Your IRG, they all want this still.
Yeah,
honestly.
for multi units with multi minis, I think this is really a really good card for them. Especially I love because it makes if you've lost 2 minis, your attack pool is still effective. To where if you put it on Obi-Wan, it's no, you don't want him to have a wound, so
I still put it on. I'd still put it on Obi-Wan. He needs it for the extra damage.
Yeah.
Right?
Obi-Wan or Ahsoka.
Yeah, I think
still
those kind of characters need the supplemental damage in my opinion, and if you go through the whole game and they are unwounded, you're feeling pretty good.
Yeah,
right?
It's true.
They're just, and maybe you say, hey, but you just said, Asajj or Wicket, once they have a wound, it's too late. I think that there's a big gulf in durability there, right?
That's true.
1 wound Asajj could be, killed on the next attack. Same with Wicket. Probably not on Asajj, but she could be. Versus 1 wound Obi, he still has some fight in him. He's gonna activate and get use out of tenacity.
That's true.
But
because deflect change doesn't affect him, so
he's pretty good, pretty tanky.
And then we've already talked about up close and personal.
C tier, I don't know.
C tier.
So trainings. If we look over them, as we said, everything's got a place where it's it's a very defensible option, I think. But there's definitely nothing that's gonna just be taken everywhere.
Yeah, for sure.
Just because C's can't be taken everywhere. But if I'm sitting here with my full commandos for Rebels and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna slap a training upgrade on them, that's when I'm leaving that slot blank, because there's nothing that I really like for the value there anymore. But for heroes, if you're talking about spending a few extra points on a hero to maybe make them dodge crits or get Hunter, I totally get it.
Yeah, for sure. I think, a lot of these, unless like you are trying to pull off like with C's, like your like it adds to the how your list operates on specific turns. If you're just throwing them just to throw on your units, I would say there's probably other upgrades that are probably better, or things that where you could utilize points better than a lot of these upgrades.
Yeah. The one exception for me again would be a very specific meta call with Hunter. I could see it coming back where, for whatever reason, there's some multi-wound units that are really big in the meta, and Hunter becomes very good all of a sudden. Multi-wound units that aren't behind Dark Trooper armor. That's why it wasn't good in the Dark Troopers.
Buff Wookiees.
Buff Wookiees.
Oh, I'm so sad they didn't get love. Oh.
Yeah. And given the state of the game, I don't know if we'll ever be at a spot where it was like with Tawns, where like it was every other list was Tawns, right?
Which I'm
or
glad.
It was Shore Mortars.
I'm glad. I don't want to.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't know if the circumstances will ever be such that Hunter spam will be good again, but
no,
because back in the day, emplacement troopers, mortars. You can get Hunter off that in a pinch if you really want to. Does it feel great if you spammed it? Not so much, but it's okay. It's all right. Anyways, training upgrades. Lots of good thoughts. Yeah.
OUFL.
And we did not coordinate before this. Otherwise, we would have made it more different.
Yes, we didn't.
Yeah. All right.
We apologize to all our listeners.
Yeah, so hopefully you guys like this, because there's lots of other training slots upgrade slots that I think have a good diverse set of cards that are interesting to talk about that we'll probably be diving into at other points over the summer here.
Yeah.
Just keep an eye out for those. And always remember to stay Gungan.